Hello, this is Sharath, and this video is regarding a Python project which I built recently called Weather Forecast Reporter. So, this is basically for a 50 degree Celsius summer internship program which is offered by the Intern Academy, and it is a task which is mentioned under the domain of Python projects. So, let's check the problem statement. So, basically, the task is the weather report of location by IP address. So the question is, when you get the location of that region, find the weather report of surrounding area and try to predict the weather of that area for next 3 days. So we are going to do that using Python and few of its modules. Let's see the code. So this is basically the code which we would be using to do the same. I'll give you a glance of code currently and let's check it point by point later. Okay, let's run this for once. Okay, so we are having like it is asking the enter the IP address of city. So basically, we were supposed to give an IP address of any location. Actually, every city comprises of a particular range of IP addresses, and we need to give any of it. Let's give one. We basically kept here few of references to have to make the work easy. Yeah, that's it. We just gave the input as an IP address. This is a sample address of the kernel city, and I gave it. So it gave my output as 5-day weather forecast report of kernel, updated at 28th August, which is current date, and the time is 8:18. Yes, the time is basically that. And the expected average temperature is 24 degrees, and expected weather description is light rain. Yeah, it is basically raining outside, and the average humidity is 88%, and average wind speed is 3.5. So this is the weather report which I got for Karnool. Let's check it for another city. Yeah, so this is the IP address of Delhi, and there the average temperature is 30 degrees Celsius, and the weather description is light rain. Average humidity is 84%, and wind speed is 4.61. Let's do one thing. Let's just check it to. So let's check it to Mumbai. So Mumbai, the temperature is 28 and humidity is 79% and the wind speed is low. In this way, we can check it to all possible cities. Let's do one thing. We will check it to some different city, which is Darjeeling, which will be interesting. And now we are going to give that as an input. Yeah, so Darjeeling, take it down to temperature it is 13 degrees Celsius. Yeah, obviously it would be cool. And the humidity is 98% and wind speed is very low. So this is the thing. We would be basically getting the weather report of every possible city just by giving any of the random IP addresses which are uh, referred to that city. So basically, this is the working, and let's check how it works. So we would be using the request and data module, and coming out for the resources, we would be using two websites for this purpose. One is IP API, and one other is Open Weather Map. Let's see them. Okay, so this is basically IP API website, and what this website does is we would give any of IP address as an input, and basically the website returns few of the details of that city, which includes the city name. So we would basically use this thing. We would give any of the IP address as an input and get the city out of it. We would be getting this is the first part of our code, giving the IP address and getting out the city. And the second website, as mentioned, is Open Weather Map. Here, what it is basically, it will give the 5-day weather report forecast of any city, which is given as an input, and it is updated every 3 hours. So, this is the way it works, and it works on the basis of API key. Basically, we need to create a API key over here on the website itself. We can make it easily, and later it will be taking the city name as an input. Accordingly, it will give the output in a JSON format. As you know, like here, it will be returning the temperature and all the stuff, the wind speed, the raining, or like description and city details, cloud details. All these things will be written in a JSON format, and we would be using few of them which are very important to us. So let's see the code. Yeah. So basically, the first thing is we would be assigning a user API. This would be different for different people. You should create your own your API, and then it is true. Like we would be giving the input as an IP address. For the sample, I mentioned many IP addresses here. You can use any of them to check your code. And this thing condition where the loops breaks. If you type end or quit or stop, it basically stops the code. That's it. The process stopped. And so basically the first part is like getting the location of like location city name from IP API website. Here you would be giving this thing a website name, and you will be giving IP address as input, and you will be using the location. You will be having all the response, and out of it we will be using only location of in that website, only city part. So location underscore city is that part. And open weather map in this website you would be basically giving the website along with the user one API which we got previously. We need to assign it. We need to go to the website. We need to create the user API. Then we need to use it over here. So basically, complete API link would be provided then, and then out of which you will be using API link like getting from it from the request module. Later, .json would give you the JSON data of that particular city weather description. Out of which, like then we will be using like creating some variables like temperature of the city, weather description, humidity, and wind speed. So these things out of like you can directly just make them by seeing over here which part includes which thing, temperature and humidity, weather description, all these things are over here. You can just directly use those variables, creating variables and assigning them. Later, it's just a printing function. I just made a format where it would be location city would be given. Also, the date and time of current time, which would be created over here, that would be given in the output format. And then you would be having all these temperature, weather description, and humidity and wind speed details. So this is the thing. Let's once run this code again. Yeah. So it is asking that for an IP address. Let's give. Yeah, I gave an IP address and it is of Chennai. It is showing average humidity is 74%, temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. We can also compare few of them whether they are right or wrong. Yeah, here we can type any city name and let's check whether the details provided are right or wrong. Yeah, Chennai 30 degrees Celsius. So you can see the same which we got in our code as well, 29.99. So the data is right. Also, we can do one more thing. Hyderabad 22 degrees Celsius and average humidity is 10%. You can directly see it over here. Yeah, Selingampally, Telangana, which is like near to Hyderabad, 20 degrees Celsius. The weather is it is directly showing over here. Yeah, so that is the thing. And if let's stop this processing, so that's completed. So in this way, we can get the forecast report of any city just by giving the input as IP address, and we can get the weather description easily using both the websites. The Open Weather Map website actually uses the server, and we would be getting the server like data from the server using the API key. Okay, and the IP API underscore this website is basically just returns the city, which is of easy process. We can do it directly. Also, I've made one more code here. Like we don't need to. This is just for the sample. Here we don't need to give any input of IP address, we can just give the setting name directly, and it would return the weather description just directly. We did not give any IP address or something over here. It's just asking the city name. Let's give something like Kolkata. So it gave me the description of Kolkata, Pune. It just gave me the description of Pune, and all this data is not of like three hours or 5 days. It is basically the current data. That's why I made it as a current weather report. This code is for current data because I'm using these things over here. So yeah, that's the thing. And the forecast report is basically the task which they ask. So this is the data for 5 days, the average data for 5 days. So this is the thing. Also, I have mentioned, I gave all the code in my GitHub link. I will attach the link as well somewhere near to the video. You can check the link, and in this, you will be having all the details of the code and how the working goes of both the files. So this is basically the project which I done for the task 3, which I did for the Intern Academy under Python projects for 50 degrees Celsius summer internship program. Yeah. So thanks for giving me time and sparing your and understanding all the project. So thank you.